thank the distinguished representative of Colombia, and I now give the floor to the distinguished representative of Myanmar.
Thank you, Madam President. Madam President, at the outset, Myanmar thanks the Secretary General for his report and the President of the International Criminal Court for her report. We take note of the notable judicial developments during the reporting period, including the conviction of individuals for war crimes and crimes against humanity, which reaffirms the Court's essential role in advancing justice and accountability for the grievous international crimes. Madam President, the Rome Statute and the International Criminal Code remain central pillars of the contemporary international criminal justice architecture. They embody the collective determinations of states to ensure that perpetrators of genocide, crimes against humanity, war crimes, and crimes of aggressions are held individually accountable, irrespective of status or position. Beyond its foundational legal framework, the Code represents a principled commitment to protecting civilians, deterring future atrocities, and upholding the rule of law as an essential safeguard of human dignity. Its victim-centered approach and the principles of complementarity continue to drive meaningful domestic legal reforms while reinforcing the international community's shared responsibility to end impunity and advance global justice. Madam President, in Myanmar, the military junta has continued committing atrocities against the people of Myanmar, amounting to war crimes and crimes against humanity. Clear evidences and the facts of such crimes of the military junta are available on the reports of the UN as well. The 2025 annual report of the Independent Investigative Mechanism for Myanmar reveals that the military's actions constitute war crimes and crimes against humanity as part of a widespread and systematic attack on the civilian populations, including indiscriminate air and artillery attacks on civilians across Chin, Kachin, Kayenni, Karen, Rakhine, Shan, Zagai, and Magwe regions, as well as systematic torture, sexual violence, and unlawful imprisonments of tens of thousands of including children. The reports of Special Reporter on the situation of human rights in Myanmar further exposes the junta's ongoing repression and its attempts to manufacture legitimacy through sham elections while weaponizing the humanitarian crisis. For over 4 years since the illegal coup, the military has conducted over 3,700 indiscriminate area attacks, resulting in over 4,100 deaths and the destruction of more than 100,000 private properties, including over 1,000 schools, clinics, religious buildings. There have been 452 documented massacres, claiming the lives of over 4,700 civilians, including women and girls and children. The National Unity Government of Myanmar had anticipated such heinous crimes against the people of Myanmar by the military junta. And accordingly, in order to save lives, protect civilians, and able to deter the junta's further atrocities, bring justice to the victims, and end the impunity, Myanmar submitted on 17 July 2021 an Article 12.3 declaration to the Registrar of the ICC, acknowledging the court's jurisdiction over crimes committed in our territory since 1 July 2002. Through these declarations, the people of Myanmar have high hopes that the court will open and preliminary examinations or expand the scope of its current investigation. After over 3 years, the hope of the people of Myanmar was strengthened by the ICC prosecutor's application to the court in November last year for an arrest warrant against the military junta chief Min Aung Hlaing. Yet, almost 1 year now, we have not heard any noticeable progress from the court on such application by the prosecutor. The people's frustration is growing. We need an effective and timely action from the court. Why I say so? Because the people, especially women, girls, and children, are bearing the brunt of the military junta's heinous crime. This lack of timely action stands in painful contrast to the reality on the ground, where the military junta is taking civilian lives every minute, every single minute, and waging a relentless campaign of terror against the civilian populations through indiscriminate air and area attacks, mass killing, arbitrary arrests, torture, sexual violence, and deliberate destruction of homes, schools, hospitals, and places of worship. These atrocities have displaced millions and devastated entire communities. They are not random acts of violence, but a coordinated policy aimed at subjugating the people of Myanmar through fear and destruction. For millions of people enjoying atrocities crimes in real time, meaningful and timely actions of the court is not only expected, but essential. The people of Myanmar, especially the victims of junta's atrocity, deserve justice. The perpetrators must be accountable. Moreover, time is really of the essence for the people of Myanmar. Now, the military junta is trying to cover up their serious crimes and evade accountability for its atrocity by organizing a sham election process aiming to legitimize its unlawful seizures of power. Under the circumstances of junta continuous atrocities, lack of effective area control, continued arbitrary detentions of political leaders, systemic and widespread violations of human rights, collapse of freedom of expression, severe restriction of information, increased intimidation against the people, and living with constant fear, the junta's planned so-called election will be a sham and scam one. It will never be free, fair, or inclusive. This deceitful process of the scam elections will create more violence, more instability in Myanmar, and deeper suffering of the people of Myanmar. As such, this so-called elections of the military junta must be categorically rejected. I appeal to the international community and the UN member states to strongly reject this junta's planned sham election. Madam President, in conclusion, as distinguished prosecutor Benjamin Franz reminded us, I quote, "There can be no peace without justice, no justice without law, and no law without a court that can decide what is just and lawful," end quote. This principle carries particular urgency for the people of Myanmar. Justice cannot be delayed when atrocities, crimes are being carried out every day across my country, Myanmar. The ICC's decision to issue an arrest warrant against the criminal junta's chief Min Aung Hlaing must be now. Moreover, we call on all member states to stand firmly with the people of Myanmar in our struggle to end military dictatorship, establish a genuine federal democratic union, and secure a peaceful and just future for our nation and our people. I thank you, Madam President.
I thank the distinguished representative of Myanmar, and I now give the floor to the distinguished representative of Luxembourg.